It's Christmas Day at the North Pole, and Santa sits in an armchair with his feet propped up. He reads a book while eating milk and cookies when there is a knock, and an elf enters.
Yes, what can I do for you? Everyone is supposed to have the day off.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kringle, but there seems to be a couple of letters that arrived late. I figured you'd want to see them.
Santa sits up suddenly, spilling his plate of cookies.
What? How did this happen?
Well, sir, it seems they were addressed to the North Pole, which confused our agents at the post office.
The elf hands the letters to Santa, who quickly opens them.
But we got the correct gifts for them, right? I mean, we see them when they're sleeping, we know when they're awake.
Santa slowly reads over the letters.
Oh no. We don't make this in the workshop.
That bad, huh?
Nothing that can't be fixed, Herbie. I just can't sit here knowing about it. Have the boys ready the sleigh.
The elf leaves and Santa stands, getting dressed as Mrs. Claus enters.
Oh, Chris. You're going out now, are you? You've been out all night.
I have to, Carol. There's some kids out there who need their father.
Oh, those poor dears. Well, please be careful out there. You shouldn't be working 2 nights in a row.
Santa kisses Mrs. Claus.
Not to worry, dear. I'll just pop down there, find the lad, get him to his kids right before midnight. It's a cinch.
In a small Midwestern town, David stands on the porch of a house decked out for the holidays while his ex-wife Darla blocks the door with her arms crossed.
David, I think it's great that you finally want to see your kids, but
David is unsteady on his feet and Darla carefully chooses her words.
maybe we can meet later this week?
Later this week isn't Christmas, Darla. I'm here now, and I should be able to see my kids.
The door opens behind Darla and Sonny pokes his head out.
Everything okay out here?
David and Sonny lock eyes.
It's fine, Sonny. David was just leaving.
The sun is beginning to set as Santa lands his sleigh on the roof of an undecorated house. Santa squeezes down the chimney. Inside the house, Santa sees that it is abandoned. Trash everywhere.
Dave? Guess he didn't want to live here.
Santa steps over a stack of mail and picks them up, shuffling through letters marked with eviction, final notice, etc. David walks through a quiet neighborhood as the sun sets, drinking from a bottle in a paper bag.
It's fine, Sonny. David was just leaving. As if I had anywhere to go. But if they don't need me around there, then I don't have to be. Who needs to see their father anyway? Not me. I didn't need mine.
David stops in front of a brightly lit house and watches the family inside.
That does look nice, though.
A sharp wind blows and David tightens his coat around himself.
I should probably find somewhere to get out of this cold.
David turns down a street of decrepit, undecorated houses.
Shit, David. Why couldn't you just admit to her that you needed help? Why couldn't you say, Darla, I fucked up and I've lost everything. My job, my apartment, everything.
David sees the door of a house standing ajar.
It'll have to do.
As darkness creeps over the neighborhood, David pokes his head inside.
Hello? I don't mean to intrude, but it's freezing out here.
David listens, entering after not getting a response. David explores the house and, finding it empty, he finally stops by the fireplace.
Oh, good.
David breaks a wooden chair into pieces to build a fire. It's night in the abandoned house and David drinks alone beside the fireplace's tiny fire. There's a bump on the roof and soot begins to fall out of the flue. He's curious, but not alarmed until he sees a pair of boots.
Hey, bud, watch the fire. Had a hell of a time getting to light.
Ho, 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 there you are. Merry Christmas.
Oh, you shouldn't be here.
I had the hardest time finding you. Not exactly my usual route, you see.
Sorry to disappoint.
David drinks from his bottle, offering it to Santa, who drinks.
You're late anyway. Christmas is over.
Santa hands the bottle back and David drinks as Santa settles in. There's a long silence.
So is there something you wanted, or...
This isn't really about what I want, Dave. It's more a question about what you want.
I really don't see how that makes any difference. No one else seems to care.
David passes the bottle back to Santa, who drinks.
You don't think your kids miss you?
They have their stepdad.
Sure, but he's not their dad. Don't you think they want to see their dad on Christmas?
I very much doubt it.
Santa pulls a couple letters from his coat.
Well, I don't usually do this. I expect a whole lot of children may stop writing me if they knew, but...
Santa hands the letters to David, who doesn't open them.
These are from your kids.
I'm pretty sure I already know what they say. I mean, you wouldn't be here if they hadn't asked you, right?
Santa nods.
That's right. Frankly, I was surprised you're still alive. Hadn't heard from you in years.
Yeah, well, it's hard to believe in you when the world is like it is.
Ah, yes. I know you have a hard time keeping joy alive all year.
David laughs.
You think the whole world should be a big, naked, hippie commune? I'm sure that would go over great at the North Pole.
You don't believe it's possible?
David shakes his head, and Santa stands.
Come on. I'll show you.
Outside the abandoned house, under the light of the moon, Santa climbs into his sleigh, and David looks doubtful.
Are you sure you should be driving?
David holds up the bottle, and Santa lets out a deep belly laugh.
I think I can handle a little holiday cheer, Dave.
Santa helps David into the sleigh before shouting.
On dancer! On dancer!
Inside Darla's house, Santa eases out of a vent as Darla, Sunny, and the kids watch a Christmas movie. The kids jump up.
Santa!
Santa throws his arms wide, hugging the kids as they rush him.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Sunny is up on his feet, looking at Santa warily.
Wait a minute. Who are you? How did you get into our house?
Santa grins at Sunny sheepishly.
Well, hardly anyone has chimneys nowadays. I have to squeeze through HVAC ducts.
Santa crouches to look the kids in the eyes.
You want to see the present I brought for you?
Yeah!
Santa strides to the door, flinging it open to reveal David.
Daddy!
Sunny and Darla are shocked, but the kids run to David. David throws his arms around his kids, Sunny and Darla looking uneasy, and then they look at Santa, who turns to them with a big smile.
Isn't this wonderful?
Sunny and Darla force smiles at Santa.
David, why don't you come in?
David comes inside with the kids and sits in an armchair near Santa, while Darla and Sunny sit on the couch. There is a tense silence.
Situation isn't ideal.
I'll stay.
But Christmas is a time for family. And David doesn't have a place to go.
David, what did you do?
I, haven't been coping well with it. You too. Sunny was my best friend. I stepped up when you stepped out.
Kids, why don't you go play in your rooms with your new toys?
The kids look questioningly at David and Santa.
They should stay. I'm not mad. They should see how adults deal with things.
Darla hesitates, but David smiles.
Hopefully they're gonna have kids of their own someday.
The kids look at Darla, who shrugs.
I will continue providing for you just like I've been doing. You still have a nice house, don't you? Food, clothes?
It takes more than that, David. You have to show it more than once a year.
What do you mean? Everyone's fine when he does it.
David points at Santa, and Darla laughs.
Come on, David. No one in their right mind would call Santa Father of the Year.
Darla looks quickly at Santa.
No offense.
Santa raises a hand.
None taken, my dear.
You want to know why I'm with Sonny and not with you?
Darla pauses, the room tense.
He was here when I was scared and needed someone to talk to. He goes with me to the kids' soccer games and dance recitals. He sees me as an equal and not someone who looks after his kids and his house.
David tries to control himself, and Darla continues.
Was I wrong for going behind your back and not ending things with you before anything happened with me and Sonny? For sure. But when were you here and available to talk, David? You were too tired, or just wanted to relax. You were so busy being a provider, you forgot that we were real.
You don't want any of this? You want our kids to be sleeping in the streets in rags? Is that what you want?
The kids look scared, and Santa puts a hand on David's shoulder.
Think about your kids, son.
There is a tense silence, and Darla puts her hand on Sonny's knee.
Have you had dinner yet, David? Sonny could put a plate together for you. We don't have to hash this out now. You know, why not eat something, spend time with your kids? Fighting won't change what happened. It'll only spoil what we have now.
Darla smiles, and David pauses before finally nodding.
Thank you.
Sonny gets up and goes into the kitchen.
I mean, since I've already paid for it.
Sure. In part. Kids, why don't you show Daddy what Santa got you for Christmas?
Yeah.
The kids run to the bedroom, and David watches them go.
Did you ever really love me?
Darla looks between David and Santa, smiling sadly.
I love who you try to be.
The kids run back with their trucks and dolls.
Daddy?
David sits with him on the floor.
Oh, wow!
Santa brought us exactly what we asked him for.
David smiles up at Darla as Sonny brings in a plate of food.
Santa sure is smart.
Darla and Sonny stand on their porch with David and Santa.
Are you sure you can't stay? I could make up the guest bedroom.
David shakes his head.
I'm not gonna impose any longer. Besides, I need to catch up with this guy.
David shakes Santa's shoulder.
All right. Come see us soon, okay?
Darla hugs David and mouths "thank you" to Santa. David steps back, looking at Sonny.
Take care of my family for me.
Santa and David sit in his sleigh on the roof of an abandoned house, passing a bottle back and forth.
I want to ask you something, Dave.
Shoot.
Have I lost touch with humanity?
David doesn't answer. Santa looks over at him.
Everything's changed so much since I was young.
David passes Santa the bottle, and Santa drinks.
I worked hard to make the world a better place for you all. A little every year. We had no idea it would turn out like this, though.
Santa waves vaguely at everything.
When we started, so simple for you guys. Families lived in the same villages. Their biggest concern, whether or not they had enough food to make it till winter or living to 30.
Santa passes the bottle back to David.
I mean, we weren't trying to overwhelm you, though we made little improvements. New farming and storing techniques, advancement in medicine, household comforts. Anything to stop death, sadness.
David laughs, incredulous.
Are you taking credit for all of humanity's progress?
Yeah, I thought you knew. The elves helped, too, of course. You think those toys were the only gift I had to give?
How old are you? I thought you lived in Germany in the 1700s.
That was me. But I was first noticed about 2,000 years ago, although I'm much older than that. I've been with all you pretty much since the beginning.
Santa gets a faraway look, and David passes Santa the bottle.
Can't help but wonder if it was a mistake. It seems like, even with all the advancements, it hasn't made you any happier. Used to be enough to live to spring, but now I don't know.
Santa trails off, holding the bottle, but not drinking.
Hey, don't be hard on yourself. You're not responsible for our happiness. We are.
Yeah, but you're my responsibility, and I didn't want to control you. But I feel you just need to step in more than just once a year.
And that's good, that it works for us.
No, I think Darla is right. We need to take a more proactive approach to Christmas. We've neglected you all far too long.
Santa snaps the reins.
Take us home, Rudolph!
Back at the North Pole, Santa bursts through his front door, followed by David.
Christmas once a year makes me not Father of the Year. David, we have to change things to help us all spread cheer.
Santa shakes the elves and Mrs. Claus awake.
Wake up the elves, wake up my wife. The world's got so much tension, let's cut it with a knife. Bake a ton of cookies, 4 cups of all the milk. Sew up more stockings, satin, cotton, silk, 'cause every single day's gonna be Christmas.
You can't mean every day.
Oh, but I do. This will be the last day after Christmas ever.
Work together, no time to fall asleep. No, when it comes to complaining, you won't hear a peep. 'Cause every single day's gonna be Christmas.
Install new governments to help the plan along. No more injustice for the weak or the strong. I'll take my place as king of Christmas joy. No one will not leave a girl or boy, 'cause every single day's gonna be Christmas.
David, Mrs. Claus, and the elves look horrified.
Take out the ozone, world of ball of ice. Perpetual winter wonderland forever would be nice. People band together, bring back community. I'll give the gift of fire again, then they'll know joy you see. 'Cause every single day's gonna be Christmas. It's every single day, every single hour, every single minute, every single second's gonna be Christmas.
Mrs. Claus slowly approaches Santa.
Chris, I want you to sit down. You're exhausted.
Elves drag in Santa's armchair with a plate of cookies.
Honestly, 2 nights in a row? At your age?
Santa collapses into his chair.
You're right. This is nice.
Mrs. Claus looks at David disapprovingly as Santa snores.
I suppose you're responsible for this.
No, I mean, maybe. I think I made him feel bad for how little we see him.
Do you know how powerful a being he is? One day is all the animals can take.
David is shocked.
Animals? What is he?
Mrs. Claus smiles.
He is the balance to all your inherent selfishness.
The balance?
Oh Lord, yes. These inky monkeys would have been allowed to leave the trees if you didn't have somebody watching out for you. You all will murder each other for entertainment. You don't think you'd be allowed to develop higher functioning without some kind of guardian, do you?
Mrs. Claus pats Santa on his shoulder.
Every year he recalibrates you all, redirecting you back to peace on earth, goodwill to men. But, poor thing, he absorbs as much evil as he can before coming back here to be detoxified with milk and cookies. Too much exposure to you and your culture can make him sick.
Santa has passed out in his chair and the elves put a blanket on him.
You all seem to be getting better, though, only a little at a time. There are a few centuries when I wasn't too sure.
Mrs. Claus laughs and reaches a hand out to David.
Come on, little one. I'll have one of the elves take you home.
David follows Mrs. Claus to the door.
I know being self-aware is scary, dear, but can't help Santa by being good this year. Won't you?
It's Christmas Adam at Darla's house, and David steps off a sleigh, walking up to the front porch. He knocks, and Sonny answers, inviting David inside for breakfast with Darla and the kids.